Former Vice President Idika has urged the Independent National Electoral Commission to reconsider the date for the 2027 presidential election, citing its overlap with Ramadan, of which joining us on the news to discuss this is our public affairs analyst, Moses Idika. Glad to have you join us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Nigerians. Yeah.
Yes, now following the announcement by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, now fixing February the 20th of next year for the presidential poll, how visible is the preparation window for, political parties, regulators, and other key stakeholders?
Yesterday, Professor Mupiton, the INEC chairman, stated that the fixing of the election dates were in line with the 2022 Electoral Act, which stipulates that there must be a clear one-year notice of the election. So, however, I don't know how that was arranged, but former Vice President Idika has come out to say that 20th of February 2027, which is scheduled to be the day for the presidential election, would fall in the middle of the Ramadan season. So I think that it's still within the law for INEC to make some shifts. Besides, in the past election, we've seen election postponed for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 1 week. So I think that allowance can still be made. The important thing is that the election timetable has now been announced. Political parties, politicians, prospective aspirants are now alerted to start work based on the timeline provided by the INEC.
Okay, now you just explained that, but to what extent now does this early release of the election timetable strengthen public confidence and also international perception of the process, particularly under the leadership of Professor Mupiton?
Well, INEC, before Nigerians, INEC is continuously on trial, okay, because you recall that toward 2022 general election, there was certain Mr. Okoye who was always in the media, in conferences, yes, in several places, assuring Nigerians that INEC at that point was very prepared for the elections. And Nigerians seem to believe him, only for INEC to experience all manner of glitches towards the presidential elections. So I think that there's still time for INEC to redeem itself. There is still time for INEC to put dots the I's and cross the T's in the interest of credible elections in Nigeria.
Okay, now drawing from previous election cycles previous elections that we've had, what persistent challenges like, let's say, logistics, security threats, legal disputes, or, voter apathy could still threaten this 2027 election?
Yes, however, I believe that Nigerians are now more conscientized about election issues. Okay. What usually is the problem is people believing that their votes won't count. But if INEC, now National Assembly is tinkering with the 2022 Electoral Act, if BVAS, electronic transmission of votes, and from the polling unit, if all these things are enshrined in the Electoral Act, I think that Nigerians, it will boost the confidence of Nigerians in the system, and this will go a long way in making people to come out to vote.
On the final note now, beyond setting an election date, which wider political and institutional dynamics, party primaries, campaign financing, oversight, and post-election dispute mechanisms will most shape the integrity of the 2027 presidential election.
Yes, with the announcement of this timetable, you see that most of the political parties hitherto that were in crisis, a lot of things are beginning to change. The judiciary has also taken notice of it too. So that all the leadership tussles within political parties that are now before the courts at various levels, from the High Court, appeal, and some may even still go to the Supreme Court. With that, the judiciary can now give accelerated hearings so that every political party that is intending to field candidates in 2027 can be ready, because from the timetable, by May, by mid-May, political parties should have their primaries between May and June 2026, which is barely 2 months away. And a lot of the political parties, we'll see what is happening in PDP, we'll see Labour Party, SDP, Accord, and the rest of them. All these political parties are in court for one leadership tussle issue or the other. So, and I hope that the judiciary can be very clear in their judgment so that all the parties involved can actually know exactly what to do next. Because before now, the judiciary seemed to give a lacuna in their judgment that opposing parties seem to latch on to cause more chaos and crisis in the political party. So I believe that with the publishing of the timetable now, everybody should now take notice from the politicians, the political parties, the judiciary, and all other stakeholders within the electoral system, so that we can have a smooth elections in 2027.
All right, now thank you very much for joining us. We had the public affairs analyst, Moses Idika, dissecting this, the upcoming election and the early release of the election schedule and timetable. Thank you for joining us.